under the shadow of a ceasefire meant to hold, southern Lebanon burns again. Airstrikes, shelling, and shattered towns tell a different story. As Israel and Hezbollah trade fire across a fragile border, civilians bear the cost of a conflict that refuses to end, and peace remains just out of reach. Israel's ongoing attacks on southern Lebanon persist despite the November 2024 ceasefire, with critics accusing Tel Aviv of a deliberate campaign to impede reconstruction and prolong civilian suffering. The strikes have focused on civilian recovery assets, bulldozers, excavators, and temporary shelters under Israel's claim of targeting Hezbollah infrastructure. This approach effectively traps tens of thousands of displaced residents, hindering their return and turning border towns like Hula into symbols of defiance rather than rebuilding centres. Residents and reconstruction advocates, such as Tarek Mazraani, an engineer from Hula who founded the Association of the Residents of Border Villages, describe a landscape where the war's end is not felt. Mazraani says people cannot return, rebuild, or even inspect homes, while his civic efforts are threatened by drones and alleged intimidation from Israel, which broadcast warnings against him by name and accused him of ties to the resistance. He notes a government position that reconstruction must wait until weapons are disarmed, a condition that blocks relief and reinforces the sense of siege. Lebanese authorities are cash-strapped and have yet to initiate large-scale reconstruction, looking to international aid, particularly from Gulf states. The World Bank estimates reconstruction needs could reach $11 billion, a sum Lebanon hopes to mobilize through external support. In the meantime, officials blame Israeli strikes for stifling rebuilding, reinforcing a perception that recovery is being deliberately sabotaged. The destruction is extensive. A rights organisation counted over 10,000 heavily damaged or destroyed structures between October 2024 and late January, with much damage occurring after the November truce took effect. In Misaleh, Israeli strikes destroyed more than 300 construction machines, crippling the local economy and erasing years of work, while individual families lament losses in the millions. Israeli forces justify attacks by alleging Hezbollah's storage of engineering assets to bolster its activities, a claim disputed by civilians who identify as non-military actors. The broader pattern, targeting civilian infrastructure and equipment, appears designed to punish Lebanon's civilian population and undermine any semblance of recovery, complicating humanitarian efforts and stoking grievances that extend beyond immediate conflict. Meanwhile, the Israeli military said its latest operations struck what it described as a Hezbollah weapons depot and an underground facility near a public sports complex, claiming these sites were used for militant activity.
Earlier this morning, the Air Force struck a warehouse of combat means and an underground terror infrastructure that were used by Hezbollah in the southern Lebanon area. The terror infrastructures that were attacked were located near civilian populations and constitute another example of the cynical use that Hezbollah makes of Lebanese civilians as human shields for the organization's activities from civilian assets.
Earlier, on November 12th, the El Nashra news portal reported that Israel shelled border areas in Lebanon. According to the news portal, the city of Mais al-Jabal in the Nabatea province came under artillery shelling, with 11 rounds being fired. No data on casualties and damage was immediately available. An Israeli drone dropped an incendiary bomb onto a strip of forest near the village of Shaikin in southern Lebanon. Several fires followed. Apart from that, Israeli warplanes simulated air raids on the Iklim al-Tufa hills, where Hezbollah camps are located. Earlier, Israeli commandos infiltrated Lebanon near the village of Aitaran, where they blew up at least 4 houses.